It's been a great year of adventures. We visited the Charleston Low Country for a lesson in Southern fashion and Southern soul. Then we really revved things up in Kentucky, hitting the track for a bucket list Corvette experience.
Back in the pits.
And eating our way through the best barbecue in the Bluegrass State.
You know, life brings you opportunities that you don't always expect.
Finally, we'll head to Pennsylvania and kick it at one of the country's most unique homes and visit the natural beauty that is the PA Wilds. Thanks for joining us for the best of Chuck's Big Adventure. Welcome. We are so excited to have you with us. I'm Chuck Lofton along with Anne Marie Tiernan, and we're excited about looking back at a great year of Chuck's Big Adventure.
Oh, and what a year. Chuck, you did so much this year.
We really did. We had a great time. We visited so many wonderful places, met so many great people, and Anne, it's always the same. Wherever we go with these Chuck's Big Adventures, it's the people that really make the trip.
So let's start with the people and kick things off that are in South Carolina, in the Low Country, Charleston in particular. This is an area that's known for food and fashion, but also, Chuck, this is a city that is full of history.
It sure is, and today you can tour that history on a horse-drawn carriage and learn more about how what happened here changed our country. Amid the sights of historic Charleston, one sound is impossible not to hear.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Tourists have seen this city in this way for generations.
Let's do it, Griffin. My name is Scott. I'll be your guide today in this lovely, beautiful, historic city. Rainbow Row, the most photographed part of Charleston.
Guests on this 16-seat carriages are immersed in this city's story. The good?
We have the second most preserved city district in the world outside of Rome.
And the bad.
2 wars, 5 great fires, earthquake of 1886, quite resilient.
These hosts
Italianate architectural design.
Are all Palmetto-trained guide experts.
Charles Coatsworth Pinckney, John Rutledge. In this graveyard, they are both signers of the Constitution.
They really know Charleston.
So the city ordinance has it that no building in the historic district can be taller than the tallest church steeple. Step hard, buddy. Come on.
Old South Carriage Tours uses 30 Belgian and Percheron horses. The horses are evaluated after every tour and on their off hours rest on a farm at nearby Johns Island.
Good boy.
Yes, you'll hear this sound in downtown Charleston.
Defensive fortifications during the Civil War.
And it's the sound of yet another Charleston story being told.
Gas lanterns in the city. Very important, yes indeed. It's history, it's the culture, Southern hospitality. It's just a wonderful place.
Well, this was an absolutely wonderful way to see the city at a pretty comfortable pace, too. Old South Carriage offers several different tours, from the historic to the haunted variety, and there's even a holiday Christmas sleigh ride that is just wonderful. And I think one of the great things about it is you can also take the carriage to get something to eat at a restaurant.
Oh, did you say food?
That's right.
Oh my gosh, well, let's talk about food because we know that Charleston really is one of the hottest foodie destinations out there without a doubt.
In the world, as a matter of fact, and one key staple at so many of the city's great restaurants, oysters. And I want to take you along for a true farm-to-table experience. It'll give you a whole new appreciation for how this delicacy is produced and prepared.
Man, this is special. You know, this is a special place and it's beautiful.
And it's something that very few people really get to see. I mean, to be out here where we are, not many people at all get to take this journey.
These marshlands all around us produce flavor. You got to get a lot of oysters. It's all about numbers.
Trey McMillan was a nationally famous pro fisherman. But a few years ago, he gave it all up to focus on oyster farming, and he hasn't looked back. So Trey, what are we doing here right now?
So we're going to pull all these bags out of the cages. We're basically going to work our way back down this line here.
His Low Country Oyster Company harvests millions of oysters for use, mainly in restaurants across the country.
We have a half dozen or dozen on the half shell on a plate of ice. The good low country flavor, you can't beat it.
The team carefully processes each harvest, making sure only the best make it from farm to table. And for that,
add these beautiful oysters.
we met up with culinary instructor and chef Kevin Mitchell.
These are really delicate, so once again, they won't take too long to cook. Some celery here.
Chef Kevin prepares students to be part of Charleston's legacy of fine food. Knowing how to prepare oysters is a must.
Yeah, that's it.
It's good.
Yes. That oyster flavor is really kicked up, but I will sprinkle just a little bit of salt. This is our oyster soup, stew, whichever you want to call it.
What a wonderful farm-to-table
Yes.
experience, Chef Kevin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a South Carolina delicacy, homegrown and harvested in this beautifully remote corner of the Low Country. And how many acres?
350,000.
You're a one-man band almost at times out here.
Yeah. You're not going to call somebody to come bring you Uber lunch or anything, I can tell you that.
Pretty cool, huh, Ann?
Wow, I love those drone shots
Oh
that
my
you opened
gosh.
up. Was so great.
Yeah, wonderful. And I got to be honest, I didn't get the chance to try the oyster soup because of an allergy.
Shoot.
But my producer and photographer, Steve and Megan, did, and they say it was delicious. Now, Chef also made a dish called Hoppin' John, and I did get to try that. It was absolutely wonderful. But of course, Charleston is one of the great culinary destinations in the world, so you got to go there.
Well, and so wonderful from morning till night. You kind of caught your meal, caught your snack for your
Absolutely.
team. That's awesome. Thanks. Well, another Southern staple. We've talked about food, but we can't forget the other one, fashion.
Right, fashion. And when we think of Southern gentlemen, quite often we think of the linen suits, that type of look.
Yeah.
But we visited 3 truly Charleston retailers to help transform this Midwestern transplant into a true Southern gentleman. First stop, one of the South's great men's stores, M. Dumas & Sons. Here I am, I'm coming into your store. You don't know me, Clark, from Adam, but you're ready to start on me. So where do you start in getting me to look good?
To me, we all love sport coats. You guys can't deny it. I mean, you feel better in a sport coat. That's typically where I start.
Okay, Clark, I picked it. Do I look Charleston enough?
I think you fit the bill. Yeah.
All right, I love it. Time for my next accessory, and for that, a stop at Southern Roots, a unique shop that lets you create a one-of-a-kind hat. Laura, not only are you a hat expert, but this is really to you an art form, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. We here at Southern Roots really approach the hat making process as more of an artistry. Some of the pieces that we picked out, what I like to traditionally do is start to layer those pieces onto the hat. And then now the last thing is, again, the burning of initials, numbers, anything that, resonates with you. So what would you like to burn in your hat today?
CBA, Chuck's Big Adventure.
I love
and
it.
I'll never
I
forget
love it.
being here with your store in Charleston.
I love it.
Well, Jeff, to dress like a Southern gentleman, I couldn't leave South Carolina without visiting you, because you guys at Brackish are the quintessential Southern gentleman look, I would think.
Oh, I'd like to think so as well, but I will tell you what, your suit's looking great, and I'm glad you all came in, and we'll get you set up really well.
What should I be looking for when I make the purchase?
You really want it to be personal to you. What really speaks to you? What feathers speak to you? What colors speak to you? You know, we have very personal packaging. We hand brand every box ourselves. It's very important that every customer feels some type of personal pull.
That's beautiful.
Towards our product. Yeah, I kind of like this one. This is called the Wallace.
The Southern gentleman look isn't for everyone, but on a warm day in South Carolina, I'm feeling just fine. So here we go, Ann.
I love
Here's
it.
the hat.
I love it.
I don't know where I would wear this in Indianapolis, but no problem wearing it in Charleston. My next trip, I'm going to wear this hat.
Well, I think you could start a new trend here. Did you pick up a jacket?
I didn't pick it up because it was a little pricey,
A little out of the budget.
but I'm going to try and find it in an outlet mall somewhere. But it's all part of the great fashion of Charleston, South Carolina. Much more to come as our Chuck's Big Adventure holiday special continues. We'll introduce you to a group of singers sharing the soul of the South Carolina Lowcountry. And then we're headed to Kentucky.
Here we go.
For a once-in-a-lifetime ride at the National Corvette Museum Motorsports Park.
Welcome back. We are continuing Chuck's Big Adventure in Charleston, South Carolina. Next up, the music.
This was my favorite part of that trip. You don't have to go far to find songs to lift your spirit. From gospel brunches to musical theater, Charleston has it all. And I had the privilege of meeting one group who sings to the soul of the South Carolina Lowcountry. In historic Charleston,
Up ahead of us, St. Philip's,
soaring church spires
First Scots Presbyterian Church,
make it easy to see
French Huguenot Church,
why this is called the Holy City.
St. Michael's Church property now.
It's easy to hear why, too. If you know where to listen.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hall's Chop House Gospel Brunch. This moonlight of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this moonlight of mine, I'm gonna let it
Long after the church pews have emptied,
this moonlight of mine,
songs of the Lowcountry feed the soul.
let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, yeah.
Lynette White makes sure of that. Lynette, I can't imagine doing a Chuck's Big Adventure in Charleston and not talking to you, so thanks for spending time with me.
Not a problem.
To you, what is Lowcountry music?
Okay, low country music to me is what we do. The old spiritual songs, the old gospel songs, and the hymns. Swing low, sweet chariot. The songs that we do were created in the plantation fields. The culture is important because if you don't know where you come from, how you know where you're going?
Lynette's plantation singers began 27 years ago with just 3 people. Now there are 20 singers.
Victory is mine. Oh, yeah. Victory is mine.
It's It's a diverse group with a shared ambition to celebrate and preserve this music, the music of the Low Country.
I loved it because not only was your music good, but those folks had joy.
Mm-hmm. That's it. What it represents for us is peace, love, joy, and happiness.
Well, you're spreading it, Lynette. Thank you so much.
Hey, I do what thus saith the Lord.
You can't go wrong there, right?
Not a lick.
Well, and the Plantation Singers have traveled the world sharing their joy, and they also do a number of educational programs for kids at area schools. So go to the Chop House, feed your belly, stay there, and feed your soul with the Plantation Singers.
And I hope you get to hear that song, Let It Shine, because I think that is such an important message for all age groups.
And it is their theme song. Well, our next destination in 2024, summer in the Bluegrass State.
This looked like such a fun trip.
This was one of the places that since we've done this, I really wanted to go. It was a wonderful time, including a bucket list ride in a brand new Corvette. More on that in a minute. But first, no Chuck's Big Adventure would be complete without the food. So, of course, we had to check out the West Kentucky Barbecue Belt. I enjoyed every bite.
Back in the pits. I like to call it a redneck crab cake.
It is our bourbon barbecue mac and cheese.
It's a journey sure to satisfy any palate.
Taste the smoke.
Brisket and burgoo.
It's the burgoo in Western Kentucky, 100%.
Beans and slaw, they have it all.
Their beans are the best beans in the country, in my opinion.
40-plus restaurants in 18 cities make up the West Kentucky Barbecue Belt. We visited 3 different and delicious options.
Or heavy dry rub, no sauce, multitude of sauces on the table.
I'm Kevin Gibson. I own Thomason's Barbecue here in Henderson, Kentucky. We typically have a thinner vinegar-based sauce we call a dip or a mop. So it's much thinner, and so when you get folks come from the north, they can't pick up their sandwich. You got to eat it with a knife and fork, and so they get confused.
The secret is cooking. It's taking your time to season things. You can't just open a can and heat it up. That's not the secret to good food.
Moonlight is one of America's best-known barbecue restaurants. It's got the buffet.
And it's special because you made it the way you wanted it and has all your favorites on it. Mutton, beef, lots, should be thick. The funny thing on burgoo is that all the different cooks have different recipes of what they put in it.
The burgoo and a lot of history. Presidents, athletes, and the average Joe have made this place a barbecue lover's bucket list stop.
You could be next to the governor, you could be sitting next to a congressman, you could be sitting next to a millionaire doing $1 million business deal, and then there could be a table of a couple farmers and a couple teenagers on the next table.
I always tell people I used to skip school just to come and get some barbecue.
What I've recognized coming home is the diversity of our customers and how this food, this West Kentucky barbecue, brings people together.
5 pounds of beans.
Thomason's Barbecue in Henderson is a no-frills generational family joint.
So we have our pork, which we sell most of. We have our mutton, which you can only get here in Western Kentucky. Then we have my favorite, which is chip, where we take the bark of the pork and mutton, we chop it up really fine, mix it together, and then soak it in our barbecue dip. We also have our barbecue baked beans, which we sell about 37,000 pounds a year of.
We call it cowboy caviar. And we're just a little funky, maybe a little weird.
That is awesome. If you're in the mood for a more Tex-Mex flavor, head to Homer's.
So Homer Ward was my great-grandfather. He had a barbecue place in Western Kentucky, the late 60s, early 70s. It's probably a little bit different than what he used to do, but I think he'd be pretty proud of it.
Casey Todd's place is half hip, half traditional, all good.
We call these the pork cakes. And everybody's like, what in the world is a pork cake?
It's like a crab cake.
Well, it's
Kinda,
like,
sort of.
I like to call it a redneck crab cake. It's exactly what it is. We're in Kentucky, you know, we are who we are. It is what it is.
So when you visit Kentucky, don't miss the barbecue belt. The food is great, but it's the tradition, the community, and the memories you'll always cherish. Casey, cheers.
To the funky
Funky
wings.
wings.
That's right.
All right, Chuck, we heard it there in the
Yeah.
piece, but like elaborate a little bit more. What exactly is a burgoo?
Well, that's a great question. And it's a meat stew or soup that's open to interpretation. But the way most described it, basically it's whatever meat you have left over from a meal, cleaning out the deep freeze, whatever it may be, add a few veggies, and you have burgoo. Now, some are more of a soup, others a thicker stew, but every one we tried was delicious. And the best part, all of the spots we featured are just a few hours drive away from Indy, perfect for a day trip. Woo! It's time to rev things up in the Bluegrass State. Still ahead, I hit the track at the National Corvette Museum Motorsports Park for a bucket list ride you don't want to miss.
Welcome back. This next Chuck's Big Adventure stop in Kentucky is really going to get your heart racing. Well, you got the chance, I understand, to go to the National Corvette Museum, this motorsports park.
Yeah, which is two different entities in a way. My father and brother, Ann, were Corvette guys, so let me tell you, getting behind that wheel was both a bucket list experience and a great way to remember my loved ones. The roar is familiar. The cars are unmistakable. For any Corvette fan, the NCM Motorsports Park is the ultimate driving destination. Built by Corvette experts for Corvettes, and there's no other place like it in the automotive world.
Without a question, we have one of the best road courses in not only North America, but probably the whole world. 3.2 miles, 23 turns, numbered.
Teach you to sit in a car a little bit differently than what you might expect.
Okay. Bring your own car, or you can drive one of theirs. I got the once-in-a-lifetime chance to drive the new hybrid E-Ray.
I have waited for this minute for 30 years.
Woo!
Let's go racing. This is great.
Woo! Boy, is this a gas. Well, this is a high-performance vehicle, and I can really feel it now.
The only way to really know this car and learn to love this car is to drive it.
Oh, we are getting fast now.
The cool thing is it takes a fraction of a second to realize, holy moly, this is something really special.
The power that you feel. Woo! Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Wow. But I wasn't done yet.
We're going to do launch mode.
I hopped in the passenger seat for a hot lap with instructor and general manager Zach. Buckle up. You're going to want to hold on for this one. Win! Woo! Oh.
All right, hot laps on track. Track is on. So right now, the car is in full gasoline mode, full power mode, so it's giving me everything it's got.
The idea here, drive these bets like they were designed to be driven.
And then it accelerates like a banshee. Lots of brakes. So we can do things in this car that we can't do in any other car because of the technology and the design of it.
Whoa!
Right
whoa.
Here. Woo! And then back up the hill.
It's almost as if you can feel G-forces here.
Well, you can because we're pulling about 1.2 Gs right now.
Oh, man.
And now we're going to roll in and we're going to give her all she's got and get down this straightaway.
Here we go. Wow.
There's going to be lots of brakes at the end of this, so get ready. 3, 2, lots of brakes,
Whoa!
lots of brakes, lots of brakes. Pitcher in.
Woo! You're a heck of a driver, man.
It's a great place to fall in love with the great American sports car all over again. Zach, I thought at one point this was going to be Chuck's Big Adventure to the emergency room. This was Chuck's Big Adventure to absolute joy. This is one of the thrills of my life. Thank you so much. I think the best part of driving that car, outside of making everybody think I was going to crash, was the fact that it's the next generation Corvette. So what we drove on that day, you're going to see for decades to come.
What is the price tag of something like that?
Well over $100,000 if you want it with what you want on it.
Yeah, yeah. Out of our budget.
Yeah. We've got much more of our Chuck's Big Adventure specials still ahead. Our next destination, perfectly Pennsylvania. We'll show you the majestic beauty of the PA wilds, take you inside one of the quirkiest castles in the country, and sweeten things up with a stop at Hershey's Chocolate World. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, we're having a great time looking back at a wonderful, wonderful year of Chuck's Big Adventure.
And Chuck, you have been to so many great places, and you always seems to find a connection, one connection, and that happens to be the music. And I understand Kentucky's really no exception.
Absolutely. I mean, the state is known as the birthplace of bluegrass music, and I met one musician who also creates incredible instruments to keep the bluegrass sound alive for generations to come. Beyond this storefront in historic downtown Owensboro.
Hi, I'm Rick Ferris. I'm a bluegrass artist and a bluegrass luthier. A luthier is a maker or repairer of stringed instruments, and that's me. Are you living just to die, my friend?
Rick Ferris has been making incredible custom guitars for more than 2 decades.
When I realized that I was not going to be able to afford them, I started looking into repairing the one I had or making it better, and then it turned into this quest for building guitars that are just better than I could find anywhere. I love to find woods that just draw you in.
Through every shaving, the meticulous sanding, from a rugged box tone to a perfect musical tone. Not only does he create these amazing pieces of musical art, he plays them as well, all over the world with his band.
Any old time you want to come back home, well, drop me a line. So a bluegrass guitar, what you're looking for is something that can be aggressive, it can be pretty, it can be sweet. So you need those soft, pearly tones, but it also needs to have a sustain that's rich and full, or it needs to get after it.
Rick's shop is a place where dreams become reality.
I can't believe that this is the shop I get to build guitars and make people's dream guitars in. This is the neck block. The neck extends out this way. This is the tail block. Then I come in and remove the excess with hand tools every bit I can. I love using tone woods that just have a personality. That is a piece of quilted cherry. You see the little tiger? See his eyes? Grinning, he's hungry. This has been a dream come true to me. Because I've always wanted a shop. I always wanted a storefront where folks can come in and get excited about bluegrass. You've had your chance to play the game fair. When you left me, sweetheart, you only left a love bouquet. I've had many albums now that I've had featured out there, and I never get tired of just like going, holy cow, I'm on the radio.
His biggest takeaway for those wanting to learn?
Don't give up. That is the entire lesson. You can find something that you genuinely love and do it. It's the beginning of the never end.
Well, Rick is awesome, obviously, and one of the things that makes Rick so unique is he is a world-class player, but he also makes the instrument so he can relate to the musicians who want a new instrument.
Yeah, multi-talented and 2 income streams.
That's a good point. Well, for our fall trip this year, we headed to Pennsylvania, and I am so pleased with what we found.
I really enjoyed this trip, and we're going to kick things off right now with a rather unexpected find.
Well, that's right. And folks, I don't know if you knew this, or Ann, you knew this, but Pennsylvania has its very own Grand Canyon, and it's part of the expansive PA wilds. The area is remote, and we do mean remote. So you have to want to come here. But as we found, it is most definitely worth the trip. First light, Pennsylvania's Tioga State Forest. I went seeking a sunrise, I found fog. Views completely obscured. It should have been a disappointment, but it was a gift. I just had to be patient enough to receive it.
In the morning, fog comes out and starts to break away. It's really beautiful. It's already changed since I started painting this morning. That's the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania.
PA Grand Canyon, or the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. It is this special place where you can overlook this scenic view where you can see for miles at a time.
This particular park is just part of one of America's most ambitious state-led projects, the 13-county Pennsylvania Wilds. The Wilds covers 2.4 million acres in the north-central part of the state.
Our forest lands are here if you want to hike. What the gorge also has is at the bottom, this is a Pine Creek that is a destination for kayaking and canoeing. And then alongside that is a Pine Creek Rail Trail.
If that's not wild enough, this part of the wilds just happens to be elk country. Why Pennsylvania for these beautiful animals?
Well, it's all about habitat. It's all about the beautiful mountains, the clean air. Not a lot of people live here, so there isn't a lot of human interaction other than here at the Visitor Center.
Welcome to Pennsylvania's elk country. My name's Raleigh. I'm going to be your host tonight.
We have 2 teams of horses. Each one of those teams will take 2 rides tonight.
And autumn is prime time to see these majestic creatures.
This is unbelievable. What an experience to be close to this animal.
Well, I've seen thousands of them, and I still stop and look at an elk when I have the opportunity, which is just about every day for me.
From the grand to the majestic, the PA Wilds offers a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Why did Pennsylvania decide these millions of acres was so valuable to not be developed?
I think we recognize the value of outdoor recreation in people's lives.
Folks are coming here to experience this rural region, and I think they really are surprised sometimes at how beautiful it is.
I just look at it, I can't, I'm just truly blessed, and the folks that come here, I think they feel blessed as well when they visit.
We have some spectacular sunsets here.
Thanks for going along with us. Have a good evening.
Wow, it is amazing to see how massive some of those elk are. When is the best time to go see them?
Really, when we went, in the fall, Anne, and near the end of the day, because it's that time of the year for them when they're pretty romantic, but they are also very hungry, so they want to eat. And so you get to go out there and see them. In fact, the elk country tours are so popular that people line up before the visitor center even opens in the morning so they can get tickets for that evening. And it was a breathtaking experience to see the beautiful animals up close and in their wild habitat.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing that for us. All these things we didn't even know. We're so close.
About Pennsylvania, right. Still ahead, we're headed to the hallowed ground of Gettysburg. It's a place that shifted the course of our country's history. And we'll introduce you to the people working to make sure future generations never forget what happened on these battlefields. Welcome back. During our visit to Pennsylvania, we made a stop at an important site in American history, and Gettysburg is often considered the turning point in the Civil War.
And Chuck, even today, the scars from that battle are still very visible throughout the town.
Yeah, absolutely. And we met several people working to make sure the history lives on for generations to come.
I don't have words to fully describe what Gettysburg means to the nation. I think to every person who comes here, that idea is going to be different. It's going to be unique. There's more than 1,300 monuments and markers, from the smallest of markers that may only be about the size of a small box, all the way up to massive monuments that would maybe remind you more of something in downtown Washington, D.C. You can follow along where the battle took place by looking at where these monuments are lined up, and also following where the cannon are lined up. Are they shooting in this direction or that direction?
To read the accounts of what some of these men went through here and experienced here is incredible. There's a story on every corner in this town, in every part of this battlefield.
We shall meet, but we shall miss him. There will be one vacant chair.
Tell me about the role that this production plays in the church.
On the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, the Army commandeered this building and turned it into a hospital.
When a year ago we gathered, joy was in his mild blue eye.
We have stories of the people that were here, and we feel it's important to keep those stories alive. So we do it through songs.
We shall meet, but we shall miss him. There will be one vacant
And these soldiers, both sides have made their choice. And we see one side is successful and one side is not. And we look at the consequences of the war down to today. And I personally feel there's tragedy, immense tragedy on both sides, but it's worth the cost. It's worth the cost.
The sense of being awestruck is very common. Knowing that you are able to stand and to walk and to journey in the footsteps and be right there, in essence, with those soldiers.
We do history here. We don't glorify it. We don't propagandize it. And we certainly do not trivialize it. It can be messy, ugly, and brutal. But we choose to remember history and not hide it.
There will be one vacant chair.
Lest we end up repeating that which we forgot.
When we breathe our evening prayer.
Wow, I was thinking about monuments, but all that living history really helps you connect.
It brings home the fact that there were 51,000 casualties in 3 days' time. And for me, this was the most memorable Chuck's Big Adventure piece that we've ever done. And I want to thank everyone in Gettysburg who helped us tell the story. Much more to come as my Big Adventure special continues. And wow. Next up, a look at the wild and wacky side of Pennsylvania. We'll take you inside not one, but two castles that are truly one of a kind. Then we'll sweeten things up with a stop at Hershey's Chocolate World and tie things up with a visit to the Haynes Shoe House. Stay with us.
Well, welcome back as we take a look back at another great year of Chuck's Big Adventure. Coming up next, two very unique, can't-miss destinations, and these are in Pennsylvania.
Unique indeed. In fact, we're about to head inside two custom-designed castles that hold one of the greatest collections of stuff out there, but every single item tells an important story. This isn't Scotland or Wales, it's Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Home of a 6-story castle that's jaw-dropping outside.
Take a look up.
And wow. And mind-blowing inside. In the United States, is there anything like this?
There's really not. You're standing in a castle right now, also a museum.
The Mercer Museum is home to a core museum that celebrates, well, stuff. And it looks like every square inch of space is used here.
Yeah, you'll have things hanging from the ceiling, boats, chairs, cradles, even an antique fire engine. You'll also have nooks and crannies everywhere.
The design? A concrete labyrinth of hallways and stairs, rooms in every direction. Every one of the 17,000 plus objects inside the Mercer Museum,
you need to have a numbering system.
Cataloged,
big white numbers,
labeled with precision.
You can actually access that still in 2024.
And precariously put on display for all the world to see. Who was Henry Mercer?
Henry Mercer was a man of many different talents. He was an archaeologist, he was a museum curator, he was a historian.
So you're looking at stuff that's basically pre-industrial revolution. Why did he feel that was so important?
Henry Mercer wanted to preserve our pre-industrial past and handcrafted tools. He called it archaeology above the ground, where before it gets lost to history below, we can preserve it and have people visit in a castle museum.
You can learn even more about Mercer by visiting his home. Another castle, of course. 44 rooms full of books, pictures, and antique treasures. Had this castle, which is massive, but it still wasn't enough to hold all of his stuff. And he builds another building, right?
Yeah, so he builds the Mercer Museum a few short years after building his home, Fonthill Castle. Fonthill is a very personal home. You know, it's an expression of Henry Mercer and who he was. But the Mercer Museum is not about Mercer. It's about everyday people, everyday life, and the tools that helped them succeed in life. He wanted it to be a separate building, a gift for this community.
Quirky, eclectic, you bet. But now, 100 years later, one of Pennsylvania's most popular cultural attractions.
Wow, and Doug, I understand the way that this all started is pretty unique as well.
Yeah, it really is. As the story goes, Henry Mercer was at an estate sale looking for a pair of fireplace tongs. He ended up buying more stuff, and the collection has grown ever since. Kind of like when I went to the north side to buy a tie, and I ended up with a car.
Yeah, oh wow.
Yeah, it really happened.
A story for another time.
You got it.
All right, well, coming up next, a stop at one of the sweetest spots, without a doubt, in Pennsylvania.
Well, we've all heard the name Hershey chocolate, Ann. What's your favorite Hershey candy?
Oh, the Kiss.
Okay.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
go for that. I like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but we have a fantastic tour of Hershey's chocolate to see how the magic is made. It's a name we all know. Hershey. For more than 100 years, the company's been creating sweet confections for every taste. And you can see how it all happens inside Hershey's Chocolate World.
Hi, I'm Matt Spencer. I'm the experiential content creator for Hershey's Chocolate World. Chuck, you ready for the ride?
This is a bucket list experience. You bet I'm ready.
Excellent. Let's learn a little bit how we make our chocolate.
Hey everyone, welcome aboard the Hershey's Chocolate Factory Tour.
I just think this is mind-blowing. If you think about it, this is a factory that makes candy bars, but it's turned into an amusement park experience.
Yes.
As guests ride along the factory tour,
We're mixing all the sugar and milk.
They get an entertaining look
We send them through a roaster.
at all the processes needed to develop these famous candies.
What's really cool is a lot of these pieces are from the original factory.
Milton Hershey was an innovator, candy maker, and philanthropist. His cocoa-based factory gave tours as far back as the turn of the 20th century. Today, there's no shortage of ways to experience the world of Hershey. There's milkshakes, bon appetit, an indoor jungle that had to have shocked the daylights out of you. And don't forget to make that shopping list. I'll take one of these and one of these. They've got plenty of items you won't find anywhere else.
That's right. And here we are in our golden section, which has, of course, our world famous golden almond collection.
Best of all, you can create your own candy bar.
Welcome to the factory.
Here's where the money is made.
Absolutely.
My blood sugar's going up just looking at it. It's delicious. Folks here like to call Hershey's Chocolate World the sweetest place on earth. There it is, huh? And they won't get any argument from me. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Wow. I have literally been a kid in a candy store.
Thank you for joining us.
So much to the world of chocolate. Who knew? From milk chocolate to dark chocolate, you can make your own bar. So much to do.
Right, and so much to buy, right? And the good news, you don't have to make the trip to Pennsylvania to indulge in their exclusive store goodies because they sell them online too. Well, we're wrapping things up house hunting in Pennsylvania.
And the coolest thing about this next spot is that you actually have a chance to stay there.
Let me take you inside a home right now with plenty of soul. In the world of vacation rentals, amenities are everything.
Here we have the original cabinets.
The more you have to offer,
A shower and a toilet here.
the better.
We have a fire pit, hot tub, foosball table.
Competition is fierce.
There's definitely a lot of competition, but when you're unique, it certainly sets you apart. Hi, my name is Naomi Brown. My husband and I own the Shoe House.
That's right. A house that looks like a shoe.
You know, life brings you opportunities that you don't always expect.
Owning the state's quirkiest,
Stained glass window with a shoe on it.
kitschiest,
In-step suite.
weirdest rental came with a historic backstory.
That is correct. The Shoe House was put into service in 1949, and it was built with the intention of being a guest house because the gentleman who built it owned a chain of shoe stores. His name was Malin Haynes, and he dubbed himself the Shoe Wizard because he was a marketing genius, which was unusual back in the 1940s, right? But he loved to just kind of bring a special joy and uniqueness to people, and this shoe house was definitely one of those items. So I think they're surprised by the fact that there's actually 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I don't think most people expect that there's that much space there. It just happens to be in a shoe.
Do you call it quirky, historic, weird? How do you describe it?
I call it fun.
There you go. I liked it too.
Because it's very unique, but it just is something that you don't get to see a lot.
Well, What a great place, and I knew you'd like it. It was a shoo-in that you would think this is a cool place. Would you want to stay in a place like that?
Oh, for sure. Sure, I would be up for that. And your dad jokes, your puns are good.
Absolutely.
They're good. I like them.
Thank you so much. And we also want to thank Naomi for welcoming us inside and showing us around. It was just great. And folks, thank you so much for joining us as we look back on another great year of Chuck's Big Adventure.
And don't forget, if you want to share it with other people, you want to watch again, you can watch all of Chuck's stories from every trip right now if you go to our WTHR Plus app.
So goodbye, but we leave you with a look at some of my favorite memories.